Well, good afternoon, everyone. We'd like to welcome you to the
Hold on, Betsy, start over. There we go.
I'll let Councilman now walk up to the stage.
Here he comes. Maybe we should have some music.
Red carpet.
Fair, Councilman Zappone is in the building.
Is he? He'll come rolling down here.
helpful.
With that being said, again, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Finance and Administration Committee for today. Just want to take a moment to thank all of our firefighters and our first responders that are out there working along with our city employees. We do have a number of employees who will be joining us virtually, as that was requested from council and the mayor, that they didn't have to be here and be in the elements, that they could Zoom in today. So the screen is pretty full today, so if Jacoby will help me keep an eye on that, I think we'll be good to go. So first, I'm going to ask for approval of the minutes from July 17th, please.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and second approval of minutes. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye has it, and so is the order. Thank you. Our interviewee today for the Bicycle Advisory Board is sick. That will be rescheduled till next Monday, so tune in to meet him. With that, we're going to have Jessica Stratton, I think she's online, come to us with a quarterly, oh, there she is over there. Come to us with a quarterly financial report.
Oh, thank you. Good afternoon. So yes, today I'll be going over the July financial report. Typically, I am present at the end of a quarter. However, last month, when I was working with June data, I ran into several timing issues that had to do with the data. So the most significant issue was that June this year was a 3-pay period month instead of July, which has been the case over the last 4 years. So that threw off our trending analysis across the board and was basically too widespread to manually adjust everywhere. Furthermore, June's data did not include the mid-year adjustment SBO, which is very important when we are analyzing the general fund. So all of this to say, this is why I'm presenting a July report, because all of these timing issues were neutralized. All right, so grab this. All right, so this is what the table of contents looks like, and on there, there's a note. I wanted to remind everyone that the city uses cash accounting throughout the year, meaning revenue and expenses are recorded only when cash is exchanged. So the accounting team makes accruals, which is basically trying to link a transaction to the time period in which it actually occurred. They do that during the year-end process, which means figures could significantly change during period 13 when that work is done. So this is that fundamental difference between periodic reporting and a year-end report. Additionally, the city budget's annual figures, which means year-to-date budget amounts, are simply calculated. And we do this by using last year's spending patterns. So if a department's spending pattern this year is significantly different than last year's, the over and under budget, variance analysis can be a little tricky. So section 1 of the report is the general fund. And we start with basically an executive summary table, so you can see right off the bat where we're at. And here we see the year-to-date budget variance for general fund revenues and expenses. And the general fund revenue is favorable to budget by about 2.4%, while general fund expense, as of right now, is unfavorable to budget by 1.4%. And we'll dig into why later. But first, let's stop at this table. This shows basically what's happened to general fund revenues and expenses since the original adoption of the 2023 budget. So every quarter, I will, in the footnote here, it's tiny.
Jessica, before you go, could you enlarge that? Or
Yes.
No? Okay.
Where is?
I know you guys were too vain to ask.
I thought it was an eye chart.
Thank you.
Hopefully that's better.
Perfect.
So down here in this footnotes, I always specifically call out the ordinances that have changed these numbers. So of course, we've only processed the mid-year adjustment SBO. That's the only one thus far that has impacted the general fund. And as just a reminder, both expenses and revenues increased by about 9 million, you'll see here. And again, those adjustments were primarily done to meet the projected over budget in the police department. Okay, so let's dive into this a little bit more. So this is general fund revenues. And you can see the general fund departments have received only around 45% of their annual revenues thus far. So again, the accounting team only records revenues when they're received, cash is received, not necessarily when it's earned. So that is why you're seeing, less than, 54%, because we're about 54% of the way through the year. And of course, all these revenues, they have their own timelines and seasonalities, and the next biggest influx is going to be the November second half property taxes.
Excuse me, can you, historic preservation, 40, is that 48?
The 49,000?
49,000 is budgeted, and what's the total? That's zero? Oh, no, sorry. That's
4,500 for them, so they've received 9% of that budget.
Okay, so are they still collecting? They should be collecting up the entire, when there's a demolition, that all goes to historic preservation. Is that still happening?
I don't know the timing of every revenue, but I would assume so.
I wouldn't assume that, because they were having
Okay.
troubles with that before.
Oh, okay,
So I think we should check that. 'Cause
Okay.
that number should be way higher.
okay. There's been a lot of demolitions, is what you're saying thus far?
Yeah.
Okay.
And Jessica, you said that this is the percentage received?
Yes.
So does that mean that that's the percentage that's been expended as well?
No,
Okay.
not necessarily.
Okay.
Again, because revenues have their own timing from expenses, because expenses for the most part are pretty common, like daily, ritualistic, especially with salaries and wages. So it's going to be a different pattern.
So as I look at this, and this is through the first 6 months, or is this 7 months?
7.
It's 7, okay. So as I look through the first 7 months, when you say only 45%, it kind of sounds like, hey, we're doing great. We're, way ahead of the game. But you're just saying that's the money that's come in, not what they've expended and what they expect they'll be paying out.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, this is just general fund revenues.
Okay.
So you'll see up here is a big old amount, 205 million up here in non-departmental. So that is because 90% of the general fund revenue is budgeted in non-departmental. So here we see that the growth, because this is 2023 year-to-date, so January through July actuals of revenue, compared to 2022 year-to-date actuals. And we can see that in total, it's increased by 5%. Year-to-date, we're up 5%. Mostly due to taxes, but especially because of miscellaneous revenues. So let's talk about that. So this is a little hard to see, but these are the revenues by category within the general fund. And here we can see down here, miscellaneous revenue. Look at that. That is a huge increase year over year is over here. Year-to-date growth is that. So what is miscellaneous revenues? Well, most of that is going to be the interest earnings that we've received. So I know Chris is here, our treasurer, to talk about most of that. And so that is, right, the Fed is increasing rates. And so all that does is all of the city's money that's like on deposit, we're getting a good return on that. So that's where most of it's coming from. And then for the taxes that you saw, it's actually mostly coming from the taxes on private utilities, so mostly Avista customers.
So can I ask a question about that?
Yeah.
We used to have private utilities was also landlines and so Comcast, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Is that still the case?
It's still the case, but of
But
course,
that's going.
yes, it continues to go down as more and more people ditch the landline.
And so, and the same thing with cable. So that's going down.
Yes.
Is there a way that we can capture, everybody's using a cell phone, so can we capture, do we charge for tax for cell phone use?
I don't think so, not from a sales tax level. I think
Is that
that's
an
more of the
authorized?
Federal
is that something-
telecom, I think.
I think we should look into that. It's a lot of money we're losing with that. loss of Comcast. I remember we discussed it back in 2019 and 2018, because people were starting to ditch their landlines and ditch Comcast cable, and then we saw these revenues decline. So let's see if we can look at that
Yeah.
and maybe increase it.
Yeah, a lot of municipalities have looked at that
Okay.
and online sales, just
Yeah.
in general.
Yeah, that too, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Jessica, the charges for services,
Yeah.
so that's increased. Is that because of fees and things like that have gone up? Is that why that would be?
So this is general fund in total, and who's contributing this to the most is engineering services.
Okay,
They're doing a lot of services for public works.
got it.
Okay, so let's keep moving. So general fund expenditures, so this is the expense side. So what you see here is, again, a calculated budget year-to-date, actuals year-to-date, and then their favorability. Red, of course, being unfavorable. So what I do with these is every unfavorable line I extract and I look at individually, and I try to figure out why. And I won't go into the boring details of all that, but I will say that we have a few here that we are keeping an eye on. So we have human resources. They use contractual services at the beginning of the year while understaffed, and they may need to do a salary savings SBO to prevent a funds fail on their M&O operating lines. So again, contractual services, the pre-employment physicals, things like that that they pay for. So that might be coming. And then both legal and public defender have seen an increase in demand for their services. And they are also at risk of going over budget by the end of the year. So this is legal here, and this is public defender, the bottom line.
Jessica, could you just go back? I just caught my eye. What is, it has Department of Youth. What is that?
Oh, the Office of Youth, yeah, it's just that 45,000, oh man, every year. I don't remember who we get that from. But it's contractual,
Yeah, Chase Youth.
Is that Chase?
is it?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's been that amount for quite a while.
Yeah.
Okay, so page 5, again, more of the same. It's basically just taking the general fund expenses and looking at them by category rather than department. And so what we see is unfavorability in the interfund billings and in the operating transfers out at this point in time, as of the end of July. So what I saw here is interfund billing looks over budget because there was one internal service fund who charged for their annual services at the beginning of the year instead of systematically every month charging a little bit. And then there were some fleet charges that also caught up in July. I will say it's important to note that all internal service funds do undergo an annual true-up during period 13. So they charge based on budget, and then during period 13, they say, well, were those charges, actually necessary? Do the actuals back them up? If they don't, if the actuals are lower in those funds, then they reduce what they charged out to everyone, not just the general fund. So there is a true-up for them and their services. And then operating transfers out, it looks very over budget as of right now, but there's two things that are going on here. Fire has received 2 advanced transfers from the general fund, which is typical during the first half of the year so that they can, quote, make payroll until they get that first half of their property taxes are received in May. So that means because they're advanced out during the first half, the second half, they don't get as much, right? So it does true up in the end of the year. And then also on the budget year-to-date side, when we calculate it, it's because it's based on spending patterns that happened last year, it's weighted very heavily for fire in December because one, that is historically a 3 pay period month. And then in 2022, we transferred out, the general fund transferred out a lot for fire's retro pay for the L29 agreement. So that's why the budget is so weighted so heavily at the very end of the year. And that's why it just appears extremely over budget right now, using July numbers. So at this time, the general fund, it looks like we're going to get more revenue than budget at this point, and that expenses will probably meet budget now that we've done that mid-year SBO true-up or adjustment. So at the end of 2023, it appears that we're trending toward the creation of a lower unappropriated fund balance, right? So every year, at the end of every fiscal year, all the revenues, all the expense falls to the bottom line, and we get that unappropriated fund balance that then moves over to the next year. So it's going to be lower for 2023. And then page 6, the last page of general fund, shows the reserves. And basically all it's showing you is that we're maintaining it. We haven't taken anything out of revenue stabilization, contingency, or unappropriated fund balance that was created at the end of 2022. It's all still there. Are there any questions on general fund? Yes.
I just want to add something. I did get more information about historic preservation.
Oh, okay.
They have not received their $40,000 from the county, and for the year, which they typically get in 2 payments. There may have been an issue with accounting, changes in staff, not knowing that. And then there is usually a sweep of all the demos at the end of the year. So we'll see
Okay.
money from demolitions at the end of the year.
That's what I was wondering.
Yeah, so ask and you shall receive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Jessica, so this is looking obviously just at general fund, correct?
Yeah.
So some of the homelessness stuff and related, that's not accounted for in this. Police capital wouldn't necessarily be accounted for in this. Does this account for projections related to police overtime?
Yes.
It does. So you're saying even with police overtime, we're looking at potentially no deficit at all?
For the general fund in total, which
Yeah.
is how we view it per our CW, yes.
So if it wasn't for police overtime, we would actually have potentially a several $1,000,000 surplus at the end of this year?
Potentially, yes.
Okay.
But that's not reality.
Right.
So the rest of this report is other funds. This will go quicker. So pages 7 through 13 outlines other fund revenue and expense variances, the timing of which are just it's very varied. So every fund, right, it's gonna act, and its nature is gonna be dependent on the fund's purpose. So that's why it's kind of hard to know how we're doing in each fund. But of course, the one we always pull out and look at is fire, since it's supported by the general fund. But in total, I mean, I didn't really see anything that I needed to dive into, because of course, like water, they're just now getting their seasonal highs on their billings and things like that. And then pages 14 through 20, if you care, I know I always care because I want to know, that's the CIP project status updates to all 2023 projects. So if you want to know anything that's going on, you can come here and see notes from that department head. And let's truck along. So page 21 through 23 are economic indicators, just for consideration, kind of to frame what's going on in the projections. These very much echo the information provided by Dr. Jones. Page 21 shows unemployment in the Spokane area may be considered too low and possibly contributing to inflation, which is also what Dr. Jones mentioned. And then page 22 shows taxable sales, which have increased year over year. Down here you can see that. Although retail trade itself has decreased, and that gets a lot of fanfare, other categories have made up for it, particularly accommodation and food services. So that's contributing to the year-over-year growth in taxable sales. So taxable sales are always 2 months in arrears, and we are in our typical downtime right now with the May activity. Spokane taxable sales increase in several months, and so we get June figures just this week. We haven't received them yet. So hopefully we will start seeing them increase. That's the hope, since we have so many wonderful events here in Spokane during the summer. Okay, any questions?
So you will come back to us with the actual mid-year adjustments at some point?
They're included in this report.
They are included in this report?
Yes, they are. Yeah, the next time I should be back would be in October.
Any other questions for Jessica? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And with that said, that category that increased. We're going to have our July investment report from Chris. We're all glad to see you today, Chris.
Glad to see you too. Okay, well, good afternoon, and thank you for the time today to go over the July investment report. So we'll cover our standard topics here, look at the current cash and investment balances at month end. We'll look at the overall portfolio composition, as well as its performance throughout the month of July. So we ended July with a little over $393 million in current cash and investment balances, and that is roughly a 1.3% decline from where we ended the month of June. Most of that decline stems just basically from operational cash use and slight immaterial level of pricing pressure from the interest markets on our positions. So overall, just 1.3% decline month over month. As to the composition of the portfolio, we had over half of it dedicated to federal agency-based securities, and our second largest holding is to that of the U.S. Treasury. Off to the right is our table that indicates we fully complied with policy during the month of July regarding the maximum allowable positions per issuer type, and our largest holding throughout July was Fannie Mae. Now, looking at the activities throughout the month in terms of what matured off the portfolio versus what was added back on in the form of investment, we had $5 million in Federal Farm Credit Bank come off the portfolio. It is relatively very low yield and very low coupon, so that's a welcome development anytime that development occurs. Therefore, we can hopefully reinvest that in higher yielding investments. We chose to opt out of making any new investments during the month as we were sticking by our structure that mandated we hold the cash within the local government investment pool, so that is what we did. And we want to be disciplined with that structure. So hopefully moving forward into the later months, we'll make some newer investments. Now looking at the liquidity of the portfolio, you can see from the bar graph up top, we have 45% of our positions set to mature over the next 2 years or less. That's reflective of about $188 million in maturity-based cash. So that's a significant degree of liquidity. Below that bar chart there is our 12-month cash flow forward table that indicates a little over $70 million over the next 12 months in maturity-based cash and a little over $6 million in generated from the portfolio itself in the form of interest income. So that's almost $77 million in liquidity over the next 12-month period. So we're in good shape, in my opinion, going over the next 12 months. That also does fall within that $70 to $90 million range that we kind of defined out in the last investment report, if you recall that. Now, looking at the performance of the portfolio, I did mention we had some immaterial level of pricing pressure, and that stemmed from the Federal Reserve's action to increase Fed funds rate by 25 basis points. But overall, we just tacked on another $100,000 to the unrealized loss balance of June. So we're sitting now at $12.57 million in an unrealized loss, which is just a slight deviation from where we began the year. So we're relatively unchanged at the end of July from the beginning of the year. Our interest income is at $6.47 million year to date. We added a full $1 million, just a bit over that, in the month of July alone. So that is a good, strong additional liquidity provision to those city funds that are participating in that allocation process. So pleased with that result. Now looking at the portfolio's performance in the context of its benchmark, I'll just point to the two lower metrics there, given the top two didn't change month over month. We added 3 basis points to our average coupon yield at 2.57 versus our index is 1.34. So we're generating much more income than we would if we aligned with that metric. We added an additional 4 basis points to our overall portfolio yield, and both yield and coupon were increased based off of the return of Treasurer's cash, which increased from 5.25 in June to a little over 5 1/3 at the end of July. So we're getting compensated nicely to hold cash. We're not holding excess cash. We're just right in line with what our structure mandates that we do. So we're just getting paid handsomely to provide that additional yield and additional liquidity to the city. So overall, that's all I have for the investment report for July. Are there any questions? Yeah.
So is there any wisdom in using interest to help boost our own general fund or to put into reserves for the city to help our bond rating?
Interest income does get allocated to the general fund every month. It's based on a pro rata share, so we would probably have to redefine that allocation.
Okay. I was thinking also of just our reserves and how it affects our bond rating. So is there any thought to putting money there as well? Is it a wash? Is it worth it? Is it, I don't know.
I would have to look into that. I don't know exactly where those reserves are held in terms of what fund.
Okay,
But if we could identify that, we could maybe look to see how we could build that up with interest income.
or if it's worth it.
If it was even worth it, yeah.
Yeah.
We're still planning on conducting that analysis on the impact on our rating, looking at what they're looking at in order to determine what metrics are most important.
Okay,
But yeah, that could be something to look at.
thank you.
Any other questions? Thank you, Chris.
Sure.
We'll see you next month.
All right? Oh, that's not good.
Next, we're going to have our rate increase discussion by Mr. Luis Garcia.
Good afternoon. I know this is not the first time a lot of you guys have heard me make this argument or this conversation, but now I want to be able to act on it at this point. So parking services, the special revenue fund had about $2.4 million of losses in 2020 and about another $900,000 in 2021, just based strictly on COVID impacts. And so happened that we were doing a program enhancement at the same time, and even with holding positions vacant, we're still looking at deficits. So looking at what needs to be done, the hourly rates for all time stays hadn't been adjusted since 2011. So we are looking, pursuant to the statute that permitted us to raise a maximum of 50 cents per hour, and looking at that number to see what it would project for an annual increase in revenues. So on an annual basis, we're looking at about $1.5 million in increased revenue, should we raise all the way throughout the all time stays. That actually puts us a lot closer to other municipalities who don't have the as valued of a parking fee structure. Yes, sir.
I'm just wondering, what are we at right now for the per hour rate?
So it differs based on the time stay. So for example, for 1 hour or 2 hour time zones, it's $1.20 an hour.
Okay. So I guess my confusion is, what action do we need to take? Because the parking manager is authorized to bring that up to $3
Sure.
on their own. And that could have happened at any time in the last couple of years, or since this policy was passed. But then the other is, are we meeting the 85% occupancy goal? And if not, is the proposal to increase 50 cents going to affect that?
Great question. So the reason that it hadn't been done is that the occupancy time or the occupancy study has not and could not be done. We have held about 4 vacancies open for quite some time. So in order for us to have staff perform that using our LPR technology or even walking to get data to see if we're meeting that 85% threshold, it's kind of a double-edged sword there because I don't have the staff to show that. So that provision in the municipal code that allows the parking manager the authority to raise the rates based on that occupancy, we just couldn't get that accomplished because of the short resources that we had. So in our municipal code, it does offer a path for us to come to council to say on an annual basis to look at our fees. So that's kind of what I was trying to do at this point, looking for a recommendation based on it.
So, sorry, just one clarifying. So are you saying that if we were to modify or take out the occupancy goal, that would sort of clean it up and make it so that the parking manager could make these decisions?
That is one. So the targeted goal was something that was conditioned on raising rates. And obviously that, one, it gives it the authority, which is great, but it also, it's not as dynamic as, let's say, events or whatnot would need.
Right.
So yeah, a code text amendment could be done, but at this point, we're just looking to get that initial change to happen because it hasn't happened since 2011.
And then last question, if you're going to change the rate, is there a centralized, you just change it, click submit, and all of them that you want affected with the new rate are updated, or do you have to go out to each meter and do this?
It's a great question on some of them. So we currently have, I want to say 400 of our new machines and a few of our kiosks, which it would be as easy as doing that for the newer technology. We still have a lot of the old technology out there that's unfortunately going to force us to touch it.
Okay.
So we are proposing kind of a phased-in approach where we would change, like the online payment, we would change our new equipment, but it would be phased to our less volumed areas, more of our outskirts, that once we can get to them, we would be reprogramming them. Hopefully it would be with new devices, but that's going to be based on the supply chain.
Okay, thank you.
Just a quick question, and I remember we've been going around for quite a while on this issue. Remind me, with ARPA funds were supposed to be used to make departments whole. And did your department receive ARPA funds, and was it enough to make you whole or not? I think I know the answer to this.
Yeah, thank you, Councilmember. No, we did request ARPA funds for the Special Revenue Fund,
Yeah.
and Parking Services did not receive any ARPA funds to make us whole.
I am really sorry that happened.
And I would like to add to that, you remember we had our dot exercise?
Yeah.
And Lori was the only person that put a dot by parking. So you all had a chance.
Yeah. Well, I know that, but it should have been separated. The department should have been made whole first before we did anything else.
Absolutely, and the department has been trying to do what it can, like I said, holding vacancies
Absolutely.
open, changing operations to be more efficient, and we have seen some savings. Most substantially probably is going to be in that salary savings. But yes, the ARPA funds did not make us whole. We did not receive any, and this is just again another way to try to see if we can recover.
You've been very patient.
You have
Thank
been.
you.
So I know a couple things on the outer perimeter, especially the arts district, the entertainment district, how our rates are so low that people just circle the block waiting for a parking space. Some of those parking lots, we've gotten concerns that they are charging an exorbitant amount of money to go to events at night, upward of $20, which is like, for us in Spokane, that's like unbelievable stuff. But my question then, will you have the staffing, since you're already low on resources, human resources, to actually implement the ones that need to be touched in what I would call a timely manner?
I would say yes. So our plan as part of the project charter that's in your packet is really just to implement as soon as possible with the newer technology. That can go really, really fast, and then we start working our way out for the other stuff. So it would be more like all hands on deck once we start getting to the devices where we have to physically touch. It is going to take a focus to make it happen, but I think it's something that we just need to do. So it would be a priority with the staff.
Thank you. Any other questions?
Yeah, so just looking for that recommendation to go ahead or not. I'm not sure if that's
Yes,
appropriate.
please,
Yes.
please.
We
Thank
can't
you,
take a
guys.
vote, but thank you. All right. We're going to have Chris come back to business registration fees in the annual review.
So hello again. As per code, we are to look at the city business registration fee amounts each and every year. And if we so choose to amend those amounts or just increase them, we do so based on a formula within code that's centered around CPI calculation. So it is the finance's recommendation, as well as Treasury, to increase the base registration fee from $127 to $131, and that's a 3.1% increase. A lot of this stems from the fact that overall costs, if you If you trace cost to revenue and the process of revenue, costs have increased last year with compensation increasing by 5% for those staff that process those revenues. Also, it's set to increase another 2.5% next year. And furthermore, next year will be the landlord ordinance in which we are to split out the business registration fees between all businesses and landlord-based businesses. The state does not have an easy way for us to do that. So a lot of time for my staff is going to be committed to manually doing that multiple times a month. So therefore, additional time and thus cost is attributed to servicing those registration fees. Yeah.
So when you or your department conducts the annual review, I guess what specifically are you looking for in terms of the analysis? And is there something that might suggest lowering the fee and not raising it?
Good question. We are looking, we're very preliminary right now in business registration. We're conducting a study as to how we can best maybe address the code as it's written now. This analysis was just basically strictly off of what we know with rising costs for operations and what we know is coming down the pipe with the landlord ordinance.
Right.
So, I mean, this is at a 3.1% increase. It's not keeping pace with the increase in cost, but it is an attempt to do so. So
I guess
that's analysis.
the two components that I think about, one is obviously the effect regionally, because our neighbors do not charge for business tax, and we do. So that obviously puts us behind the 8 ball there. But the other is, I'm curious why, and maybe it's just the way the SMC reads, but why do we only look at the actual business license tax and not also the head tax? I'm curious in our analysis.
Oh, you mean the personnel piece of that?
Yeah, the head tax part.
It's not in SMC to do
Okay,
that.
so it's just not
Yeah.
part of the SMC.
Yeah, and we are looking at
Should
that
we look
piece.
at that? I mean, in your mind?
Yes,
Okay,
yes, and Treasury is looking at that right now.
okay.
Councilman
Thanks. This is good information. I was part of the group that looked at and devised this SMC to create something, because we hadn't upped our taxes or our fees for years, so they were stagnant. And when we looked at this, we put an elevator in that so that, as you said, you come back and ask, and we need to raise the tax. But at the time, we didn't touch the head tax or the per employee tax. And I do wonder if we should do that, because it would, and the other piece was we didn't touch nonprofits. Well, when you think about some of the nonprofits in our city, like Providence, Deaconess, those are big employers. And so we're losing out money from those. And they're on paper, they're nonprofits, but I
Yeah.
kind of I cringe when I say that. So is there a way that we could recover some of that from those bigger nonprofit? Deaconess is not, I misspoke, but Providence is. So is there another way we could recover something? Maybe we even just do a head tax for some of those and not a business fee.
Yeah, we could look at that. We're also looking at a tiered system based off gross revenue, which is a lot easier, in my opinion, to audit. And that is something that cities like Seattle use.
But a gross revenue means that we're taxing people based on revenue that they can't actually spend.
Yes.
True. Yeah, we haven't delved into it. We're just.
And I would also question how that affects our income tax ban in the city of Spokane.
Yeah. Those are all valid questions. The study is super new. So just looking at all the other options across the board.
Well, in terms of the head tax, I had a proposal, well, didn't get as far as an actual formal proposal in 2020, but COVID kind of disrupted the process there. But I was looking at, could we reform the head tax in a way that would be more beneficial to smaller businesses and obviously probably a higher impact on the larger businesses? But I think those are the types of things we need to look at. So.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, I like to say I worked with Tanya on bringing this forward, which came about by the GFCs. And so I was asking, well, what about all the other fee structures in the city? And how are those adjusted and how often are they reviewed? She even suggested the CPI as the elevator that would be attached to that. So it is challenging, but our costs are challenging as well. And how do we provide that service when we're going down in an up elevator? So, thank you. Any other questions for Chris? All right.
Okay,
Thank you, sir.
great. Thank you.
Well, I think you're next. Stay
am.
around.
Yes.
SIP loan for the Parks Department.
Okay, so in your packet, there is a resolution for a interfund loan, or SIP loan, if you will, to the Parks Department to purchase a new Zamboni for the ice ribbon. Parks is seeking $172,911.55 for the purchase, the taxes, the transportation, and the overall service of bond counsel to underwrite the ordeal. They're getting priced at 4.47% on a 5-year term. So they did do their due diligence, and they did look at external-based financing. I think they were quoted at 6%, just a little over that, and the total price would have been over $223,000. So this is a much better deal for Parks and for the citizens in general. To give you a little background on why we're doing this, they're currently using a 2012 model. It's relatively old. It's incurring much more frequent breakdowns and unplanned maintenance. It's also a model that is designed for indoor use, so it's kind of misaligned for how it's being used at this point. They brought in a consultant, and the consultant recommended the purchase of a Zamboni 450, which I take it is much more aligned with how it is going to be used. Parks does estimate that when unplanned maintenance does occur, they have to take the ice ribbon offline for safety reasons due to insufficient surface for skating. And that costs anywhere between $4,000 to $10,000 in lost revenue. It also kind of impairs maybe the perception of the city and its sponsor when you're having this on and off again, availability for skating. So this situation would be remedied by the purchase of the Zamboni. It also meets Spokane code in that it transitions from a fossil fuel Zamboni machine to a fully electric machine. So that's a benefit there as well. Yeah.
So I don't know how much of the park side details maybe you know, but on the financial side, I guess I'm wondering, so do we have a cost benefit in terms of, you know, a 3 or 5 year kind of outlook? Is this going to cost more than it actually sort of saves us in the long run? Or is this more of a convenience versus what we have now? I mean, in terms of, obviously the park, the ribbon going down, there's perception issues and there's obviously real cost issues there, but is the overall cost benefit a net positive or a net negative?
I would imagine it's a net positive given the cost of the repairs, given it's an older machine. The parts are harder to get. They're probably costlier. The labor has gone up. I did not do the cost benefit analysis on that.
Yeah.
I'm not on the business case side of this thing. But overall, it makes a lot of sense to me.
Okay. And then my other questions I'll just throw out there are, one, you know, and this is more for Parks and they can get back to me, but did we reach out to the arena, the podium, Brett Sports, talk about, you know, any used Zambonis that already exist, maybe we could get access to at a lower rate, something that they're going to get rid of anyway? How much due diligence on that end was done? And then I'm wondering, did we, when we passed the park levy for Riverfront Park, did we set aside a maintenance fund, and would this potentially be covered out of a maintenance fund? Because I would assume that we did that, knowing that we're going to have an ice ribbon, we're going to have a way to manage that ice.
Sure.
And so what does that fund look like? How much is in there? Have we spent it? Those sorts of questions.
I have no idea.
I'm guessing you don't, so I'm just putting that out there. I would like some answers to those types of questions before
Okay.
we vote on it. So.
Okay.
Thank you. We look forward to somebody from Parks getting back with us via email would be fine.
And it would be great if they would let us drive the Zamboni, just try it out, just to see if it was fun.
Okay.
Okay,
Fine. Thank you.
Get my vote on
could
that.
go wrong?
Drive it.
What
Yeah.
could go wrong?
All right. All right, thank you so much. The SBO for Therapeutic Courts. Is Sarah online, or I don't see her here?
Yes, she's on.
Okay, go ahead, Sarah.
Yes, hi, good afternoon. I appeared before committee on July 31st with a notification to proceed letters from the Administrative Office of the Courts. And I'm here today with the actual award agreements that have been fully executed and the supporting SBO. So the SBO will increase revenue for municipal court by $738,050 to fund our community court, DUI court, DVITC court, and our veterans court. The increased appropriations to fund are the salary and benefits of $366,930, equipment of $9,250, training and travel of $53,600, and professional services of $308,270. And professional services are generally our treatment contracts, our bus passes, and then meeting basic needs of participants, like the haircuts, laundry cards, clothing, any food, any little things that we can do to help them.
Great. Any questions for Sarah?
One quick question.
Councilman.
Sarah, does any of this, I guess, really represent kind of an expansion in capacity, or is this really kind of just helping us with really where we are now?
It's awesome. It is helping us in expansion. So for community court, it's allowing us to bring in 2 navigator-type positions, which will allow us to case management. We'll do care coordination between treatment facilities. We can help with any type of housing, short-term, and all their basic needs. DUI court, for that one, that's going to allow us to get some training to our team as we look to be mentor courts and just improve those services. The same with Veterans Court. That is also for a lot of the training and travel to meet those best practice standards. So I think this is really just helping us improve our programs, but you'll really see it in community court.
Great. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'll do it.
Thank you.
Next, we're going to have the SBO for the right-of-way funding. So Jen, come on down, and you can go from 3.8 and roll on into 3.9.
Good afternoon. So today I am here talking about the SBO for right-of-way funding. We actually previously already brought that contract through council to ask permission to accept and disperse those funds. And this SBO would allow us to, my next page here, to increase revenue by $2,032,058 and then increase appropriations for $2,032,058, provided solely for contractual services related to housing and homelessness as part of this initiative. These funds are going to the tract shelter and also to housing navigators with some admin for City of Spokane.
Any questions for Jen on this one? All right, Jen, CHHS homeless grant.
Okay, similar to the last one, this is also one that we have already brought through the contract to accept and disperse some of the funding. The Commerce CHG funding is currently partially spent out as part of our 5-year awards, and that goes all the way through June 30th of next year. We did receive some additional funding for eviction prevention funds, which we have already come through council requesting permission to disperse those funds to those organizations. We did also get some additional funding through Department of Commerce. So we're asking permission to increase revenue by $4,795,078, and then increase appropriation by $4,795,078. Of that, $321,700 is provided solely for salaries and benefits for City of Spokane employees who will be administering the programs, and $267,700 is provided solely for other supplies, services, and equipment, and $4,205,678 is provided solely for contractual services to be provided by the city's subrecipients to deliver services to the community.
Any other concerns? Questions?
Great, thank
All
you.
right. 3.10, resolution amending type of police vehicle purchases. Councilmember Canoe, you're going to take that one?
No, Major McNabb, are you up there in virtual land?
I see him.
I see you. There you are. You want to go
I
ahead?
am, council.
Great. Do you want to go ahead?
Sure. I apologize, the wrong camera set up, and there's pretty bad echo. I don't know if there's something you can do about it. But basically, what we have going is we met with the Ford regional representative for the United States, our part of the United States, and they are letting us know about major production problems with the type of vehicle that we ordered, the police utility interceptor hybrid. Their normal plant for those vehicles was shut down, and they are opening a new line for that type of vehicle in their Chicago plant, but that's not going to go online until October. They have told us that they've received more orders than they could possibly fulfill this year. And during that meeting, they explained the possibility, or they explained our options for receiving our full order, to give us no assurances one way or the other if we would receive our full order. Just as a historical reminder, in 2022, council passed 2 resolutions funding police vehicles. One was for 46 vehicles, and the other was for 25 vehicles. The one for 25 vehicles is the one we're seeking to amend, and it's funded through ARPA. All that money has already been encumbered. What we're asking to do today, and this is why, is change the wording in that resolution so it allows us to purchase a Ford F-150 police line vehicle or similar models as vehicle availability allows. We were told by the Ford representative that the Ford F-150 police pursuit vehicle was currently taking orders, and they expect or expected that those orders would be fulfilled this year. And that was news to us and something we wanted to take advantage of because our police fleet is in such dire straits that if we don't get cars soon, we're going to have operational impact where our service level is going to drop. So we're looking to get cars on the ground in our parking lot as soon as possible. And this is provides us flexibility to do that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions? None? All right. And then, are we doing the emergency ordinance amendment type of, that was it?
That's just the,
All of it? All right.
yeah, and the change, if you go to the bottom, instead of up to 25 Ford K8 electric hybrid models to up to 25 Ford K8 Police Interceptor Ford F-150 Police Responder or similar models as vehicle availability allows. So that's the key right there, as vehicle availability allows, because honestly, nobody knows what they're going to get right now. So they've made a little list here of, we'll take these.
Okay.
And right now, in fact, some of the vehicles they're using, they're buying used.
Great. Thank you, Council President. Next, we have the SAFCO TA and
Tom
Online?
Williams is online.
Tom, you're up.
Oh, musical chairs.
If you're speaking, we can't hear you.
They are not muted.
No sound yet.
Switch chairs again. Here's something.
Yeah.
They left the meeting. They might try and
They're probably going to
We do have Councilmember Mike Piccolo is here if we wanted to do the TPA.
Mr. Pickle, you want to speak to that?
Good afternoon. So it was about this time last year that the council approved the new interlocal agreement with Spokane County for the reformatted TPA when Spokane Valley opted to transition out of the arrangement. So now we're a year into it, and there are 2 events going on. One is the petition from the businesses that pay the assessment to increase the assessment rate by $1. So there's a $2 base rate, there's a $2 additional amount, and that second amount can be increased to $3. And that will continue until the summer of 2027 by state law, then that goes away, sunsets. So there's a petition being processed right now that'll be submitted to Spokane County Commissioners. They need to turn in signatures of those businesses that pay at least 60% of the assessment, and they may bring in 75, 80%, and that doesn't mean 20% are voting against it. It just means they've already hit 75, 80, 85%, so they can limit their efforts. So that process goes to the county commissioners. They have a public hearing. They will then, if that is successful, they will amend their ordinance and then amend the interlocal agreement with the city to increase that amount. And at the same time, the TPA commission is recommending that the board be increased by 2 members. So right now there's 3 voting members, 2 appointed by the city, 1 by the county, and then the city and county each appoint an ex officio non-voting member. And I believe Councilmember Zapone is that individual. So the recommendation is to increase the voting membership by 2, and the county would appoint an additional 1, and the city would appoint an additional 1. And just to remind the council, those members are recommended by the Hotel Motel Association. They forward the recommended names, and the council, through the mayor's office, the council would then appoint those individuals. And if this all is successful, it needs to be done by, the deadline is October 18th for the county to deliver to the State Department of Revenue the documentation, the information saying, please increase the rate effective January 1st, 2024. We miss that deadline, then the rate does not increase until the start of the second quarter. So we are pressing hard to meet that deadline. So I anticipate the amended interlocal agreement coming back to the council for approval late September, early October.
And would you tell our audience the majority of those funds go for what purpose?
It is strictly for tourism promotion, marketing within the boundaries of the TPA, which is the city of Spokane and unincorporated, Spokane County. But the bulk of the businesses who are paying are all within the city, the vast majority.
Great.
Okay, thank you very much.
Were we able to get fire back up, Jacoby? No?
They're back on. Let's see.
Okay.
Good
Tom?
afternoon. Are you able to hear me?
Yes.
Great. Good afternoon, members of the committee. Just to brief out the tentative agreement with SAFO presented in the executive committee a few months ago, we started out with 3 strategic priorities going into bargaining. Primary one was for succession planning, recruitment and retention, and then cost savings and contract alignment. So I believe you guys have a draft of the tentative agreement in your packet. So this was voted on by the SAFO membership and ratified just a couple of weeks ago, I believe. I'm happy to just take questions, or would you like me to go through each subpoint within the strategic priorities?
Let's see if any questions from council on this. I think we have it in our packet. I think you're good. Think you're good. Thanks for getting back online with us.
All right, thank you.
Okay. Is there anything we want to comment on consent items? At that point, you didn't want to go to 4.10, Councilmember Cathcart?
I don't know, maybe I should look at what.
That was the Evergreen Storm
Oh.
H2O
That's right.
identified through the RFQU. Councilmember Kinnear,
Mouthful.
we were just struggling,
The name of the study.
the name of the study and who will be doing that, so.
No, I'm okay.
You're okay,
I'm
okay,
okay.
all right. In that case, meeting is adjourned. We will see you back here at 3:15. 3:30. 3:30. I get you back early.